Good day, viewers. It's I, NitroSilverNigel. Whatever you call me, it's all good. It's time for season 2 thing, and we're all for the ghost seas. Let's do this the correct way, and we must remember the old rule.
Attention. Please don't attempt to steal the images of OCs from this video. These images were commissioned and are not your property to copy. These artists had worked hard for this, and the OC owner as well. Please respect the content creators behind this video and any others. Also, do not attempt to illegally download the music from the episode. The musicians had worked hard to create such a great tune. If you need help, please contact the email below on screen. Thank you for your time for reading this and watching this video.
Yay! Season 2 is here! We're making some headway with the Meet the OC. Oh no, can I be? But it is. Not a strange OC of the law, but this episode is going to be a doozy. The name of this OC's name is Eccentric Amusement. Yet her hometown is Everfree Forest. This mare is country-filly at heart and enjoyed the peace and quiet of rural areas. She was raised on a family ranch, curled deep in the Everfree Forest, surrounded by cattle, meadows, and a creek. Wide open spaces and pure galore. It was one of the most freedom and tranquility she ever felt until her family ranch had sold and had to move to downtown Ponyville, which still get her choked up sometimes. She missed the countryside and the ranch house very much. Eccentric is currently unemployed. She doesn't have dreams about careers. Her biggest value is laughter more than anything. She enjoys making others laugh and has always been generally and naturally funny. She wishes to be a stand-up comedian one day, or at least make fun laugh one way or another. As long as your OC is amused, it does her pure heart some good joy. Make her job a good one. Eccentric is as single as a Pringle, which is just strange since you can't have one Pringle chip. She is very confused about her sexuality and kind of a bi-curious pony. Just won't admit it though. She considered kissing a mare once, which I'm pretty sure considers herself demisexual. Which in shorthand means if you aren't emotionally attached to this mare, she ain't loving you. The simple history of Eccentric is short and confusing. Eccentric was born into a loving family raised by a mother named Teapot. Again, I just said it was confusing. So why am I still here doing this strange episode? Simply because I wish so. Eccentric had a very sad, quite lonely childhood. So far, I think we only have one OC we did an episode on that didn't have the present history. Looks like season 2 pits us with this in spades. The other fillies and called teased her and bullied her by her fascination with anatomy and the digestive system. She had little to no friends, and the only friends she had was these books. Tons and tons of books about the body, the immune system, and nervous system. I would ask her why she loves her so much, but I'm too afraid of the answer to do so. Anything of that nature, you can name it. It was discovered later in Eccentric later years that she had a high-function autism with OCD features, explaining her wacky obsessions and unusual ways of being. I knew I was gonna hate the answer to this too, but I started to concern for the poor mare. She has lots of friends now and takes pride in her autism diagnosis, intelligence, and sense of humor. Now to the backstory. Eccentric was always fascinated by the field of gastroenterology. It's the study of the digestive system. Why every time I have to do research on that, I literally lost my lunch by looking at the chart. Now imagine how I feel by doing an entire episode on the subject. I better go lie down somewhere. She read books about it. It's kind of a religion for her. I mean, look at the images on screen. Eccentric does everything in her bones to learn more about the gut and how it works. However, she couldn't help but let her imagination get the best of her. She was always a creative and quite zany hybrid mare thingamabobber. She just had this thought, bear with me, pony, but here's the only question. What if stomach just talks? Oh well, looks like even I lost when we got key points here. Will the torment ever end? What would they say? She thought, stomach growling all the time, alright. And she wondered what were they even thinking. She discussed this with her mother with the crazy idea ever. She wanted to invent a stomach translator. Are we really doing this? How come I always had to say a strange thing? Of course, Eccentric mother just laughed it off with some silly imaginary fantasy. But Eccentric had some other plan. She wanted to contact the most well-known intelligent scientist in Quester to help her out. However, I know that adventure is going to be made by some possibly mad scientist. Adam Pans Bobby McGee, MD. Eccentric made plans to visit the institute where he worked and discuss her idea with him, which I will go on record saying, that is still a nice name to have. When she arrived at the institute, Eccentric was met with confusion more than a few than security requirement procedures. That's when she saw Adam Pants himself in the flesh. She walked up slowly to him and nervously told him her idea that she had. Adam explained that it wasn't realistic and it would never be successful. But as Adam thought anything is possible, so he gave her a chance to experiment her totally bonkers theory. The project took years to create. I can only say this. This had to be the strangest thing I read all day today, and I read some pretty strange stuff. Eventually, after 8 long years, the project was completed without too many bugs. In fact, it was nearly flawless. You can say that it was absolutely flawless. It was a laser-like device that had no other buttons and settings besides the firing button. Eccentric and Adam brought in a brave test subject, a sworn right Pegasus stallion who agreed and consented to the testing. Eccentric set her target on him, and sadly a spider got in the way between her and the machine. She prematurely fired a beam and a blue zap went banging across the room like a crazy scared bunny. Then without warning, the blast hit Eccentric. Every pony grew silent, and their mouth gave in surprise and shock. You hear a pin drop just then, and then here comes the strangest part. A very unfamiliar masculine voice coming from Eccentric.
What are you ninnies so shocked about? What, never heard a talking stomach before, you idiotic buffoons?
Eccentric fainted, and from hearing her stomach talking to them, she was complete to believe. And Adam frowned, just realized how something important. There was no refresh button for the invention. Whoa, I didn't expect it to become this dark so late in the episode. Eccentric panicked the very idea of having something in gut, and before he can think, oh, they can just make an invention that can reverse the effects. It took them 8 years to make the first one, and if you don't remember, real ponies don't have the lifespan as humans. Eccentric believes that she will have to live with a talking stomach, possibly forever, a rude, huge belly, downright savage when he turned out to be.
I am the only savage stomach that she knows.
Mr. Glowington is his name. I would have picked a better name. He would go out of his way to make little remarks to anybody nearby, even though he's actually good inside. Mr. Glowington displays himself as grudge, but he truly isn't. Yet, it turned out, as Eccentric learns, stomachs actually don't growl at all. It is the intestines that make the stomach. You live and you learn. Oh boy, now I feel sick. Now that the backstory is over, now it's time to do some personality trait. This is one zany, crazy, excessive little pony. She's very little and has concrete thinking, although she can understand metaphors sometimes. She's always smiling and it takes a lot of effort to get Eccentric to a very sad mood. Even when she's in that mood though, she often cries uncontrollably and let her emotions do the best of her. To tell the truth, Eccentric is a very emotional character and follows her emotions more than her logical thoughts, which can be very difficult for her considering that she is not very good with social skills and very socially awkward. And it's development, that is in the development because she's learning more social skills every day. Don't let her autism pull her back. All around she's very funny, smart, and silly, and articulate. Her likes include making the other ponies laugh, going online, anatomy, mythical beings, making new friends, traveling, junk food, bonding with family, peace, comedians, TV shows such as Family Guy, cats, and her favorite item in the whole world is an iPad and iPhone, how she can access anything she wants on the internet. The internet has to be her most favorite thing in the entire universe. Her dislikes are including dogs, vomiting, loud noises, anxiety, uneducated ponies, hypocrites, misunderstanding her, getting cavities, and crying at very sad movies. Well, that was a look at this awesome OC. I wish them the best luck in their endeavor. Now it's time to end the video, and hope that you, the favorite viewer, had a good time watching. Now DJ, play us out.
The music of the video was provided by Beaky, a famous brony musician in his own right, and the visual talents belong to ZarraProductions, a super talented artist in the community. Please support them by going to their links in the video description.
As you know, Season 2, I hope that we get some new additions to the group and new layout. We're going to support the artists and magicians and our new voice actors of the series. Hope you enjoyed the works that I did. Remember to smile.